Have you ever felt it? Not a thought, more like a tremor in the fabric of things. A moment of impossible coincidence, a line of dialogue from a stranger that finishes a sentence in your own mind, a vivid dream that feels more real than your waking life. It's a quiet whisper, a silent hum beneath the noise of your day, suggesting that the solid, predictable world you navigate is not the whole story. It's the feeling that you are an actor on a stage, performing a role with perfect conviction, but you've forgotten who wrote the script. We are taught to dismiss these moments, to call them tricks of the mind, random firings of neurons. We are encouraged to trust the surface of things. But what if the surface is a veil? What if the solid reality you cling to is merely a reflection of a mind you've been taught to call your own? The truth you have been searching for is not out there in the world. It is in the mirror that reflects the world to you. Because, as the spiritual scientist Emmet Fox reminded us, the iron law of your being is this: you become like the thing you dwell upon, and you have been dwelling in a dream. This is not philosophy. This is not mysticism. This is the front line of science, where our most brilliant minds have stared into the heart of reality and come back shaken. Consider the bedrock of the physical world, the atom, the particle. For centuries, we believed it was a solid little thing, a tiny marble, until quantum physics conducted the double-slit experiment. What they found shattered our understanding of everything. They discovered that a particle exists as a wave of pure potentiality until it is observed. The moment consciousness, the act of looking, enters the equation, the wave of infinite possibilities collapses into a single concrete event. Let that sink in. The act of your perception creates the thing being perceived. This means you are not a passive bystander in the universe. You are the catalyst that turns the invisible into the visible. Your awareness is the creative force that calls reality into being. But what about the reality you are already seeing? In a famous psychological experiment, people were asked to watch a video of a basketball game and count the number of passes. They focused intently, they counted diligently, and half of them completely failed to see a man in a full gorilla suit walk into the middle of the game, beat his chest, and walk off. The gorilla was there, but for them it did not exist. This is not a flaw in your brain. It is your most powerful feature. It proves that you do not see with your eyes, you see with your attention. Whatever you place your focus on becomes your reality. Everything else is rendered invisible. So the terrifying question is not, what am I seeing? The real question is, what am I not seeing? And what of your past, the solid foundation of who you are? In another study, researchers were able to convince a significant number of adults that they had a vivid memory of being lost in a shopping mall as a child. They began to remember details, the panic, the face of the person who found them, the feeling of relief. None of it ever happened. Their minds, with a simple suggestion, created a past out of thin air with emotional resonance. So, if your perception creates the present, if your attention filters reality, and if your mind can invent the past, then what is this solid life you think you're living? And more importantly, who or what is the silent observer behind it all?
Here is where the dream becomes a prison. Because long before you could choose, a script was written for you. You were born into a world that was already in motion, a sea of beliefs, assumptions, and limitations. Your mind, in its purest, most absorbent state, was downloaded with programs you never consented to. The program of your culture, which told you what success looks like, what to value, and who to fear. The program of the media, which engineered your desires and profited from your insecurities. The program of your education, which taught you to conform, not to question. And the most powerful program of all, the program of your family. Their unhealed wounds became your inheritance. Their anxieties became your inner monologue. Their ceiling became your sky. These programs form the invisible walls of your prison. A prison decorated with logic, a prison furnished with justifications and common sense. It is so comfortable, so familiar, that you have forgotten you're inside it. You mistake the voice of your conditioning for the voice of your soul. You believe you are making free choices every day. But the thoughts that appear in your mind, where do they come from? Are they original? Are they truly yours? Or are they echoes, repetitions of old code, reactions to a stimulus you are not even aware of? You are not lazy. You're running the program of procrastination that you learned as a coping mechanism. You are not unlovable. You're running the program of unworthiness that was installed in your childhood. You are not anxious. You are running a program of hypervigilance that once kept you safe. This is the great uncomfortable revelation of the awakening journey. The moment you realize, I am living inside a mind that has been colonized. But if you are not the programs, if you are not the thoughts, if you are not the prisoner, then who are you? Who is the dreamer dreaming this dream? The answer begins when you grasp one of the most liberating truths ever spoken. You are not what you think. You are the presence that has the power to choose what to think.
This is the great secret, hidden in Saint Place by mystics and sages for millennia. The universe is not made of things, it is made of consciousness. This is the first law of all existence, the law of mentalism. All is mind. The world you experience is not a solid external object. It is a projection, a manifestation of consciousness. And you are not just a tiny, insignificant piece in that consciousness. You are that consciousness. You are not the character in the dream. You are the dreamer. The great spiritual teacher Emmet Fox dedicated his life to making this truth practical and accessible. He taught with profound clarity that the world you experience is not happening to you, it is happening through you. It is a reflection. The outer world is a reflection of your inner mental state. The world is a great mirror. This changes everything. It means the chaos you see out there is a reflection of the chaos in your own mind. The lack you experience is a reflection of a core belief of scarcity you hold within. The love and beauty you witness are a reflection of the love and beauty you have cultivated in your own consciousness. The mind, the one that was programmed, lies. It filters, it distorts, it judges, it remembers selectively. But the consciousness that you are, it simply sees. It is the silent, changeless, eternal witness behind the curtain of the mind. You are not your name. That was given to you. You are not your body. That changes constantly. You are not your story. That can be rewritten. You are the pure, formless awareness that observes the name, the body, and the story. The illusion was never the enemy. The problem was never the dream. The problem was identifying with it, forgetting that you are the dreamer.
So, how do you escape the dream? How do you break free from the prison? Here is the paradox. You don't. You don't fight the illusion. To fight it is to make it real. To struggle against a negative thought is to pour your divine energy into the very thing you wish to dissolve. You don't try to fix the reflection in the mirror. You change the face that is looking into it. The power is not in resisting the dream. It is in consciously dreaming a new one. And for this, Emmet Fox gave us the master key, the practical, operational code for freedom in a mental universe. It is called the law of substitution. It is the only law you ever need to know. You cannot erase a thought. The mind abhors a vacuum. But you can replace it. You consciously, deliberately withdraw your attention from the thought that disempowers you, the reflection you do not like, and you place it firmly and faithfully upon the thought that represents the truth of who you choose to be. You don't fight the thought of fear. You turn away from it and place your mind on the idea of divine love. You don't wrestle with the thought of lack. You turn away from it and contemplate the truth of infinite abundance. This is not positive thinking.
This is a change of consciousness. Let's make this real. This is not something to understand. It is something to do. This is the observer's choice, a simple ritual to reclaim your power. The ritual, the observer's choice. 1. Acknowledge the reflection. At the end of your day, bring to mind one negative feeling or circumstance you experienced. See it for what it is, a reflection of a thought you held. Write down the thought. For example, I felt anxious because I thought, I can't handle all this pressure. 2. Withdraw your belief. Look at the thought and say, either out loud or internally, this is a reflection. This is a program. This is not the truth of my being. You are withdrawing your energy, your belief from the illusion. 3. Choose the truth. Now, what is the divine truth? What would the infinite, powerful, peaceful dreamer choose to think? Write it down. I am a perfect instrument of divine intelligence, and I handle all things with grace and ease. You are already whole. Rest in that knowledge. Every apparent imperfection is a reflection of a program. 4. Embody the new dream. Close your eyes for 60 seconds. Don't just think the new thought. Feel it. What does it feel like in your body to be the person who lives this truth? Feel the calm. Feel the strength. This feeling is you installing the new program. Do this every day. You are not just changing a thought. You are rewriting the code of your reality.
The Great Awakening does not come with a thunderclap. It comes with a quiet shift. The frantic noise of the conditioned mind begins to fade, and in its place, a silent, unshakable presence emerges. The observer, the dreamer, you. You no longer live as a victim of the world's reflections. You stand as the source of them. You realize that your freedom was never something to be earned or found. It was simply something to be remembered. The new reality does not begin when your circumstances change. It begins the moment you change your mind about them. As Emmet Fox stated with perfect, powerful simplicity, change your thought, and you change your world. This is not a conclusion. It is an invitation to stop trying to escape the dream and start dreaming on purpose. For those ready to master this practice, we have created a companion guide to help you deprogram the old code and write the new one. You can download the Creator's Code, a practical guide to reality, for free using the link in the description. The mirror is waiting. What will you choose to reflect?